Okay. So, Canto 9, Chapter 6, Text 33-34. Trasaddasyur itindro anga vidadhe nama yasya vai yasmat trasantihi udvigna dasyavo ravanadayaha यवनाश्वो अथ मान्धाता चक्रवर्ती अवनीं प्रभु सप्तद्वीपवतीम् एकः शशासच्युत तेजसा Trasadasyu, of the name Trasadasyu, one who threatens thieves and robbers. Iti, thus Indra, the king of heaven, Anga, my dear king, Vidadhe, gave Nam, the name, Yasya, whom, why, indeed, Yasmat, from whom, Tasanti, are afraid, he, indeed, Udvigna, the cause of anxiety, Dasyavaha, thieves and robbers, Ravan, Adya, headed by great Rakshasas like Ravan, Yavanaswaha, the son of Yavanaswa, Atha, thus Mandhata, known as Mandhata, Chakravarti, the emperor of the world, Avanim, this surface of the world, Prabhu, the master, Saptadvip Vatim, consisting of 7 islands, Ekha, one alone, Sasasa, ruled, Achyut Tejasa, being powerful by the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Mandhata, the son of Yavanasva, was a cause of fear for Ravana and other thieves and rogues who caused anxiety. O King Parikshit, because they feared him, the son of Yavanasva was known as Trasadasyu. This name was given by King Indra. By the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the son of Yavanasva was so powerful that when he became emperor, he ruled the entire world, consisting of 7 islands without any second ruler. This is the glories of King Mandhata. Okay. Ijecha yagyam kratubhir atmavid bhuri dakshinai sarva devam ayam devam sarvatmakam atindriyam द्रव्यं मंत्रो विधिर्यज्ञो यजमानस् तथार्त्विजः धर्मो देशश्च कालश्च सर्वं एतद्यद् आत्मकम्. Ije, he worshipped also Yagyam, the lord of sacrifices, Kratubhi, by great ritualistic performance, Atmavid, fully conscious by self-realization, Bhuri Dakshinai, by giving large contributions to the Brahmanas, Sarva Devamayam, consisting of all the demigods, Devam, the Lord, Sarva Atmakam, the super soul of everyone, Ati Indriyam, transcendently situated, Dravyam, ingredients, Mantra, chanting of the Vedic hymns, Vidhi, regulative principles, Yajnaha, worshipping Yajamanaha, the performer, Tatha, with Ritvijaha, the priest, Dharmaha, religious principle, Deshaha, the country, Cha, and Kala, the time, Cha, also Sarvam, everything. Etad, all these, yet that which is Atmakam, favorable for self-realization. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is not different from the auspicious aspects of great sacrifices, such as the ingredients of the sacrifice, the chanting of Vedic hymns, the regulative principles, the performer, the priest, the result of the sacrifice, the arena of sacrifice, and the time of sacrifice. Knowing the principles of self-realization, Mandhata worshipped that transcendently situated Supreme Soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, who comprises all the demigods. He also gave immense charity to the Brahmins, and thus he performed yajna to worship the Lord. Okay, so he was worshipping Vishnu. Okay, he was the devotee of Lord Vishnu. यावत् सूर्य उदेति स्म यावच्च प्रतिष्ठति तत्सर्वं यवनास्वस्य मान्धातु क्षेत्रम उच्यते. Yavat, as long as Surya, the sun, Udeti, has risen on the horizon, Sma, in the past, Yavat, as long as Cha, also Pratisthati, continues to stay, Tat, all those things mentioned above, Sarvam, everything, Yavanaswasya, of the son of Yuvanasva Mandhatu, called Mandhata Kshetram location Uchyate, is said to be all places from where the sun rises on the horizon, shining brilliantly, to where the sun sets, are known as the possession of the celebrated Mandhata, the son of Yuvanas. That means completely everything was under the control of King Mandhata. He was the king, one king. There was no other ruler except Mandhata. Okay. These are the glories of kingdom or the king Mandhata. Shashabindor duhitari bindumatyam adhanirpaha purukutsam ambrisham muchukundam cha yoginam tesham swasarah panchasat sovarim vavrirepatim. Shashabindu, of a king known as Shashabindu, duhitari, unto the daughter Bindumatyam, whose name was Bindumati, Adhat begot Nripaha, the king Mandhata, Purukuts, Ambrisham, Ambrish, Muchukundam, Muchukundcha, and Yoginam, a highly elevated mystic. Tesham, of them, Swasaraha, the sisters, Panchashat, 50, Sauvarim, unto the great sage Sauvari, Bhavire, accepted Patim as husband. Mandhata begot 3 sons in the womb of Bindumati, the daughter of Shashabindu. These sons were Purukuts, Ambrish, and Muchukund, a great mystic yogi. These 3 brothers had 50 sisters, who all accepted the great sage Saubari as their husband. Okay, so here is the connection for the story of Saubari, because this chapter entitles the fall down of Saubari Muni. Now from 39 to 48 Saubari Muni's a story will be there. Saubari Muni, how he marries the daughter of Mandhata. So what is the connection is that why did the sage Saubari, performing great austerities, marry these daughters, and why did the daughters accept an old withered sage as their husband? That's the question. Because Saubari Muni was a very great yogi and he was doing some sadhana, something, and very old person. So all of a sudden, how come he changed his mind and married that also 50 daughters, 50 girls? And how come all the 50 sisters married same old wretched man, completely a sage? So that's the point. How? So that's the story here. 39 and 40. Yamunanantar jale magnas tapyamana param tapaha nirvritim min rajasya drashtva maithun dharminaha jat spraho nirpam vipraha kanyam ekam ayachat sopiyah grihatam brahman kamam kanya swayambare. Yamuna antah jale, in the deep water of the river Yamuna, magnaha, merged completely, tapyamanaha, executing austerities, param, uncommon, tapa, austerity, nirvittim, pleasure, mean rajasya, of a big fish, drashtva, seeing, maithun dharminaha, engaged in sexual affairs, jata spraha, became sexually inclined, nirpam, unto the king Mandhata, vipraha, the Brahman, Saubari Rishi, kanyam ekam, one daughter, ayachat, begged for, saha, he, the king Api, also, Aha said, Grihyatam, you can take Brahman, O Brahman, Kamam, as she desired, Kanya, daughter, Swayambare, personal selection. So Saubari Rishi was engaged in austerity deep in the water of river Yamuna when he saw a pair of fish engaged in sexual affairs. Thus, he perceived the pleasure of sex life, and induced by this desire, he went to King Mandhata and begged for one of the king's daughters. In response to this request, the king said, O Brahman, any of my daughters may accept any husband according to her personal selection. So Saubari Muni, he was actually doing meditation under the water, deep down in the water of Yamuna, somewhere near Vrindavan only. Okay, so he was doing there. There in the water, he saw 2 fishes mating, and that induced sexual desire within him. he did he performed austerity 60,000 years, but still this desire came up. He came out of the water, and desire came just by seeing two fishes mating. Okay, so that much is the dangerous this thing is. 60,000 years he did tapasya, but still he got these desires. So it's not that easy. And then he came out and he saw that in the river 50 daughters were taking bath. So he requested, then they rejected, and then he went to their father. That girl said, our father will decide. And then he went to father, King Mandhata. So that's the point. Mandhata said, okay, actually Mandhata, he thought this old man, this sadhu, his body is, because so old he was. First of all, he was yogi, doing tapasya for 60,000 years, but still got that desire. And for that desire, body should be there at least. But body also very no use, like 60,000 years sitting in the water, body will be like very thin and all. Only bones are there like that. So king thought, okay, what is this? So he thought, okay, if I say no, I may get cursed by Muni. So better, he played another trick. He said, okay, my daughters, I have decided that my daughter will select their husband, Swayambar. And he thought, anyway, daughters will not select this fellow, who will select him? So that was the idea. So this is the beginning of the story of Saubhari Rishi. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Mandhata was the king of Mathura, and Saubhari Rishi was engaged in the austerity while submerged deep within the river Yamuna. When the Rishi felt sexual desire, he emerged from the water and went to King Mandhata to ask. He went to King Mandhata to ask that one of the king's daughters become his wife. He asked only one daughter. Okay, King Mandhata had many daughters, 50 daughters. So he said, okay, you can give me one daughter as my wife, so I will marry. Okay. So, why did the sage Saubhari Muni, why did he left performing austerities and wanted to marry? Because he saw the fishes mating, and he came out of the water and went like that. Okay. So just by seeing two fishes mating, the mind can get agitated. Ajamila just saw one prostitute engaging in sexual affair with one man, and his mind got agitated. So these things are very dangerous. Eyes and ears are very dangerous. If anything such kind of input goes from eyes or ears, mind will get agitated very fast. Sa vichintya priyam strinam jaratho aham asanmataha vali palita ejatka iti aham pratyudahritaha sadishye tathatmanam sura strinam abhipsitam kim punar manujendranam iti vyavasitaha prabhu. Sahahi Saubhari Muni Vichintya, thinking to himself, Apriyam, not like Strinam, by that woman, Jaratha, being infirm because of old age, Aham, I, Asatmataha, not desired by them, Vali, wrinkled, Palitaha, grey haired, aged, Kaha, with the head always trembling, Iti, in this way, Aham, I, Pratyudahirtaha, rejected by them, Sad Ishye, I shall act in such a way, Tatha, as Atmanam, my body, Sur Strinam, to the celestial woman of the heavenly planet, Abhipsitam, desirable, Kim, what to speak of, Punha, yet, Manuja Indranam, of the daughters of worldly king, Iti, in this way, Vyavasitaha, determined, Prabhu, Saubhari, the great powerful mystic. Saubhari Muni thought, so king said, okay, you can go, and if any of my daughters select you, then you can marry, no problem, Swayambar. So Saubhari Muni thought, I am now feeble because of old age, very old. My hair has become grey, my skin is slack, and my head always trembles. So old man, you see, he himself is seeing his body is completely gone, but still that sexual desire has come up. Besides, I am a yogi, therefore women do not like me. He thought, such a old body, head is shaking, His skin is slackened completely. Who will like me? Which girl will like me? So since the king has thus rejected me, so he thought king is not saying directly, hey, go. He is indirectly saying that, no, you go in front of my daughters. If they select you, and he knows they will not select me. So that means king is rejecting my proposal. So Saubhari Muni thought, okay, since the king has thus rejected me, I shall reform my body in such a way as to be desirable even to celestial women. What to speak of the daughters of worldly kings? He thought, okay, anyway, I have done some tapasya, so I will make my body in such a way that what to speak of this worldly kings, this material, this earthly kings, even celestial women, devtas, stris, they will like me, they will desire me. That kind of body I will make. Okay, so that's much. See, we see the fellow was doing 60,000 year tapasya, and all of a sudden he is not thinking anything else, he is just thinking about sexual desire. And when king said no, indirectly no, he thought, okay, I will. He is not able to understand now also. He is making all the effort, okay, I will make my body beautiful, handsome, I will become this, that. So somehow this girl should select me. That much. His 60,000 years thing is forgot. Muni praveshita ksatra kanya antarpuram riddhimat vritahasa raj kanya bhir ekam pancha shatavaraha. Muni, Saubhari Muni, praveshita, admitted Kshatriya by the palace messenger, Kanya Antahapuram, into the residential quarters of the princess, Riddhimat, extremely opulent in all respect, Vritaha, accepted, Saha, he, Raj Kanya, by all the princes, Ekam, he alone, Pancha Shata, by all 50, Varaha, the husband. So therefore, when Saubhari Muni became quite a young and beautiful person, so he reformed his body. He was a yogi anyway, he can do that. Okay, so yoga has got this kind of thing, you know? Person can reform his body and all those siddhis are there. Even a very high class yogi can expand his body also, like from one body he can become 2 bodies, maximum 9 bodies he can become. Okay, so therefore when Saubhari Muni became quite a young and beautiful person, the messenger of the palace took him inside the residential quarters of the princes, which were extremely opulent. So he went inside. Now they took him inside the residential quarters, Antahapuram, so that all the girls will see and they will select him. If they want to marry him, they will select. So all 50 princes then accepted him as their husband, although he was only one man. He became so handsome that all the girls were saying, I will marry, I will marry, I will marry him. And earlier they rejected actually. Go, old man. Now all they selected him only. Now there was a competition, there was fight. All were saying, no, I will marry him. So all the 50 said, okay, he is only my husband. So all the 50 married to Saubhari Muni. Now King Mandata was like, oh my God, what is this? Tasam kalir avudbhuyam sha tad arthe apohe sauhrdam mamanurupo nayam va iti tadgat chetasam. Tasam, of all the princes, Kali, disagreement and quarrel, Abhut, there was, Bhuyan, very much, Tat Arthe, for the sake of Saubhari Muni, Apohya, giving up, Saurdadam, a good relationship, Mama, mine, Anurupaha, the fit person, Na, not, I am this, Vaha, yours, Iti, in this way, Tat Kat Chetasam, being attracted by him. Thereafter, the princes, being attracted by Saubhari Muni, gave up their sisterly relationship and quarreled among themselves, each one of them contending, this man is just suitable for me and not for you. In this way, there ensued a great disagreement. All the 50 sisters, they started fighting. No, this is for me, this man is for me, not for you. So you see, this kind of desires, when comes, even the brothers and sisters, they start fighting. Okay, for a girl, 2 brothers may fight. For a man, now 50 sisters are fighting. Okay. Sa सा बहुरिचस्ताभिरपारणीय तपा श्रियां अनर्घ्य परिच्छदेषु गृहेषु नानोपवनामलाम्भ सर्वः सर्हसु सौगन्धिक काननेषु। महारह श्रयासन वस्त्रभूषण स्नानानुलेपाभ्यवहार माल्यकै स्वलंकृत स्त्री पुरुषेषु नित्यदा रेमे अनुगाय द्विज भृंगवंदिषु। Saha he Saubhari Rishi Bahuricha quite expert in utilizing Vedic mantras. Tavi with his wives Aparniya unlimited tapa, the result of Ashati Sriya Bioplans Anarghya paraphernalia for enjoyment. Parichedeshu equipped with different garments and dresses. Griheshu in the house and rooms. Nana varieties of Upavan parks. Amal clean. Ambha water. Sarhashu in lakes. Saugandhika very fragrant. Kananeshu in gardens. Maharaha very costly. Sayya bedding. Asan sitting places. Vastra clothing. Bhushan ornaments. Snana bathing place. Anulepa sandalwood. Avahara palatable dishes. Malyakai and with garlands. Su alankrita properly dressed and decorated. Stri women. Purusheshu with men. Also Nityada constantly Remi enjoyed. Anu Gayat followed by the singing of Dvija birds, Bhringa, bumblebees, Vandishu and professional singers. Because Saubhari Muni was expert in chanting mantras perfectly, his severe austerities resulted in an opulent home. So out of his whatever austerity he did he used that austerity for sense gratification. He was doing austerity for some higher cause, but now that result of austerity is using for this sense gratification. So because of his several austerities, he created a home, very opulent home with garments, ornaments, properly dressed and decorated maid servants and men servants and varieties of parks with clear water, lakes and gardens. Opulent home. In the gardens, fragrant with varieties of flowers, birds chirped and bees hummed, surrounded by professional singers. Saubhari Muni's home was amply provided with valuable beds, seats, ornaments and arrangements for bathing, and there were varieties of sandalwood creams, flower garlands and palatable dishes. Thus surrounded by opulent paraphernalia, the Muni engaged in family affairs with his numerous wives. 60,000 years he spent nicely in the Yamuna, nothing he required. As soon as got married, everything he need, home, bed, clothing, dressing, man, that's why the word Istri means Vistar. Then only you have to expend everything. Otherwise alone you can be simply happy. Okay, so now he got into all this trouble. Purport. Saubhari Rishi was a great yogi. Yogic perfection makes available 8 material opulences. That is called Ashtasiddhi. So many people are mad for Ashtasiddhi. They want Ashtasiddhi, but for a devotee Ashtasiddhi is no use. What are that? Anima, Laghima, Mahima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva and Kamya Vashayitva. These are the Ashtasiddhis. Saubhari Muni exhibited super excellence in material enjoyment by dint of his yogic perfection. Very perfect he was. The word Bahuricha means expert in chanting mantras. So as material opulence can be achieved by ordinary material means, it can also be achieved by subtle means through mantras. So like modern days people are karmi, they do lot of hard work for what? For getting opulences. But there are some mantras, just by chanting those mantras properly, people can get all the opulences. So by chanting mantras, Saubhari Muni arranged. He did not go and work hard and brought. No, he just chanted mantras and he arranged for material opulences, but this was not perfection in life. As will be seen, because he made such a nice palaces and everything for his wives and enjoying. So materialistic person may think that this is the high class opulence, this is the top class thing. But actually this is not the top class thing. This is not the perfection. Okay. 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 So this is not the perfection of life. As will be seen, Saubhari Muni became very dissatisfied with material opulences and thus left everything and re-entered the forest in the Vanaprastha order and achieved final success. So it will come in the future, but Prabhupada is mentioning here in the purport also that this was not the perfection of life, money, wealth, women, everything. And he just got disturbed, he just got diverted. But later on he will understand, Saubhari Muni, that actually what he is doing, he decided something else as the goal of life, but where he is engaged. So then he will correct himself. Okay, and then he will leave everything, all that palaces, all those wives and everybody he will leave, and he will go again, and he will perform, and then he will perfect his life. Okay, so those who are not Atma Tattvavit, who do not know the spiritual value of life, can be satisfied. You are able to hear me? Is there any sound? Okay. So those who are not Atmavit, that means who do not know the spiritual value of life, they can be satisfied with the external material opulences. When we don't know, when we are in ignorance, we don't know what is the real value of human life, then we are satisfied with nice home, nice wife and nice kids and big car and gardens and gold and money and all these things, nice dresses. We are satisfied. So that we have to understand whether I am in knowledge or not. Because if I feel satisfaction by these material things, that means I am not in the spiritual knowledge. Otherwise, if I am in spiritual knowledge, how come these things are giving satisfaction to me? No, because it's all illusory things. So the person who is not in the spiritual knowledge, he can be satisfied with external material opulences, this money, wealth and all those things. But those who are Atma Tattvavit, that means who knows the spiritual knowledge, and they are not inspired by material opulences. They are not inspired. This is the instruction. So this is the instruction we can derive from the life and activities of Saubhari Muni, that if a person who is in the spiritual knowledge, he is not attracted towards the material opulences. That's why when a devotee goes to market or somewhere, there are big hoardings, big advertisement for products, beauty products or dresses, many things, material things, car, watches, many things. So a devotee does not get attracted towards that. For him it's just like nothing, useless, no use. He just not even bother. Okay, devotees don't know what kind of beauty products are available presently in the market, what kind of new models of watches are coming, new pattern of dresses are coming, right? They don't know. They are not having much time to know all these things, because first of all they are not attracted. So because they are not attracted, they don't go and research what is the. Somebody was asking me this kind of thing, that this is new pattern of dresses is going on, do you know? I don't know. How come I know? So we don't know all these things, that what kind of shirts are now in trend, or what kind of pants or jeans are in the trend. We don't know. So devotees, they are not attracted towards this material things. No matter how much advertisement is given, they are not attracted. They know this is all material. Beauty, wealth and all these things are home, car, watches, dresses. These all things are material. A devotee or a person who is in spiritual knowledge is not at all attracted towards that. So we have to recheck whether I am attracted or not. If I am attracted towards these things, that means still I have to learn more in spirituality. But if I am attracted towards Krishna Bhakti activities, then it is good. Okay, so one may devotee or a person who is in spiritual knowledge, Atma Tattvavit, he is not inspired by material opulences. Because many people, when they say, oh, next house there is a now new car, he is also inspired to buy a new car. He start working extra and he sells the old car and gets new car. So a person next house, somebody brought a new necklace, then we start working hard. We are inspired by that material opulence. We want to buy that. In TV we saw some particular beauty product which is like this or that. So we are inspired by that material opulence. We want to purchase that. So that shows our ignorance and our lack of knowledge in spiritual life. Yes? Okay. So, two more shloka and then we will complete. So this section from 39 to 48 will be complete. The marriage of Saubhari Muni with the daughter of Mandata. 47. Yadgarahasthyam tu samvikshya saptadvipavati pati vishmitah stambham ajahat sarvabhauma istriyanvitam yat he whose garhasthyam, family life, household life too, but samviksha, observing saptadvipavati patihi, Mandata, who was the king of the entire world, consisting of 7 islands. Bismita was struck with wonders. Stambham, pride due to a prestigious position. Ajahat, he gave up. Sarvabhauma, the emperor of the entire world. Istriya Anvitam, blessed with all kinds of opulence. Mandata, the king of the entire world, consisting of 7 islands, was struck with wonder when he saw the household opulence of Saubhari Muni. Such opulence he created, even the king Mandata got astonished. Oh my God. He was the king of whole world, but still he was struck with wonder. Saubhari Muni is so opulent. Thus he gave up his false prestige in his position as emperor of the world. Okay, so Mandata was shocked to see Saubhari's opulence. Such a powerful yogi he was. Everyone is proud of his own position. Actually, that is another important thing. Even a small ant is proud of his own position. Insignificant. An insignificant person, but he has a proud. Even beggar has a proud that I am a beggar. So everyone is proud of his own position. But here was an astounding experience in which the emperor of the entire world felt himself defeated in all details of material happiness by the opulence of Saubhari Muni. Such great opulence he created, you see. Evam grehesva adhirato vishyan vividhai sukhai sevamano na chatushyad ajyas stokairi ivanalaha. Evam, in this way, greheshu, in household affairs, avirata, being always engaged, vishyan, material paraphernalia, vividhai, with varieties of sukhai, happiness, sevamana, enjoying, na, not cha, also atushyat, satisfied him, ajya stokai, by drops of fat, evil like anala fire. In this way, Saubhari Muni enjoyed sense gratification in the material world, but he was not at all satisfied, just as a fire never ceases blazing if constantly supplied with the drops of fat. Very important analogy. So material desire, very important purport. This is, we should hear with a quite attention. Material desire is just like a blazing fire. If a fire is continually supplied with drops of fat, ghee, the fire will increase more and never be extinguished. So material desire, here in this case like Saubhari Muni's sexual desire, these things are like blazing fire. And foolish people think that when we put ghee, butter in the fire will be extinguished, that means finished. But that how it is possible? If you put ghee or butter in the fire, it will increase only. Okay, so gratifying the desire for sense gratification is like a blazing fire, and gratifying them is like putting ghee, so increasing more and more. So controlling them is the solution. So therefore the policy of trying to satisfy material desires by catering to one's material demands will never be successful. Somebody will think, I have this demand, this desire, So once I will do that, I will be satisfied, and then I can do bhakti. That's the biggest foolishness. That if I do this, and then I will be completely satisfied, then I can. No, you are catering to that desire means you are putting ghee, butter in the fire. That means it will increase only. It will ask for more. That's the point. In modern civilization, everyone is engaged in economic development, which is another way of constantly dropping fat into the material fire. The Western countries have reached the summit of material civilization, but people are still dissatisfied. Real satisfaction is Krishna consciousness. Somebody may think that I want to become that, this, big, or some people are inspired by Western culture. They should see whether they are really peaceful or happy or satisfied. No. Are there not old age? Are there not disease? Are there not death or mental peace? No, they are more disturbed. The suicide rates are more in the developed Western countries. And depression and rape cases and all those things are there more. Okay. So even though they are developed, but all the bad things are also there in the more quantity. Because the thinking that the wrong conception. What is that wrong conception? That when I scatter to these desires, material desires, I will get satisfied. This is the wrong conception. Okay, but satisfying the senses of Krishna, engaging ourselves in the bhakti, that is the real satisfaction. So if that is done, then person is really satisfied. So this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 5:29, where Krishna says, Bhoktaram yagya tapsam sarvaloka maheshram surdam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. So the sages knowing me as the ultimate purpose. So Krishna is saying shantima gyatva mam shantim richati, means if you know this thing, you will get peace of mind. What is that thing? 3 things. What is that? Knowing me, first thing to know. Suppose this is peace formula from Bhagavad Gita. Everybody in the world is talking about peace. But here is the peace formula. Gyatmam Shanti. If you know these 3 facts, you will be peaceful. And what is that 3 facts? One is knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifice and austerities. Bhoktaram Yagatapsam. Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer, or knowing me as the ultimate purpose. Krishna is the Bhokta, means he is the enjoyer of all the sacrifices and austerities. First thing. So whatever you do, whatever dan, tapa, puja, bhakti, whatever you are doing, who is the enjoyer of that? Krishna. First thing. So don't worry now. 33% peaceful. What I am doing, it is for the pleasure of Krishna. Krishna is happy. The Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods. That is the second fact. That Krishna is the Bhoktaram Yagdam Sarva Lok Maheshram. He is the Supreme Lord. He is the controller. He is the Supreme Owner. So don't worry, my, yours, this, that. Be free. Krishna is the Supreme Controller. Sarva Lok Maheshram. He is the controller. He will definitely take care of everything. Don't worry at all. And third one is the Suhurdam Sarva Bhutanam, and he is the benefactor and well-wisher of all the living entities. Krishna is not only mine, but for all the living entities, he is Suhrdaya. Suhurdam means who is sitting in the same heart. So Krishna is sitting in the heart. He knows everything. So Suhurdam Sarva Bhutanam. He is the well-wisher. Suhurdam means well-wisher, benefactor of all the living entities. So anyway, Krishna is my well-wisher. So why I have to worry? So if I know these 3 principles, then peace, I will be always peaceful. So Krishna says, the sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. One must therefore take to Krishna consciousness and advance in Krishna consciousness by properly following the regulative principle. So if I want to advance in Krishna consciousness, I must follow regulative principle, and that is 4 regulative principles, right? So without following 4 regulative principles, we cannot progress in spiritual life. So Prabhupada made 4 do's and 4 don'ts, so we have to follow that. Yes. So then one can attain an eternal blissful life in peace and knowledge. Okay. So that is the peace formula. So Prabhupada is instructing and suggesting that one must take to Krishna consciousness. That means bhakti process, chanting Hare Krishna, hearing Krishna Katha, taking prasadam and all those things, and associating with the devotees, and following 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. These 4 things, 4 do's, 4 don'ts, and follow this and progress in bhakti. Be peaceful, be blissful, be happy. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So here 48th sloka is completed. Saubhari Muni's marriage with the 50 daughters of King Mandhata, and tomorrow we will start from 49 to 55. That is like, so now marriage is done, they are happily staying there in the palaces which he created, and nice. But now next verse onwards, Saubhari Muni will lament his fall down. This is called fall down. He was doing nice bhakti. All of a sudden he saw some fishes mating and he fall down and engage in the marriage affair, sexual affairs. This is called fall down. So he is fall down. So he is lamenting for his fall down. And when he will lament for his fall down, he will correct his mistake. He will leave from there and he will achieve again perfection. So that section we will discuss tomorrow, 49 to 55. Hare Krishna.